Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Cult Movie Tuesdays right here on Night Owl Video. Today I am talking about Ghost in the Shell, the original animated version. So I hope you'll stick around. We'll be talking about production, critical response, my thoughts on the film, where you can watch it, and all that jazz. So thank you to everybody who subscribed recently, and I hope you had a nice new year. I'm recording these videos in advance so that I can take the holidays off, but I hope you had a nice holiday and a nice new year and you stayed safe and got to spend some time with your friends and family, or maybe you got some time to yourself and you got to decompress, which would also be awesome. Today we're talking about this film, Ghost in the Shell from 1995. This version is the 2.0 version from, I think, 2008. So they took the original film and then they added in some extra scenes into it that are like CGI, computer generated. I started to watch that version and quickly realized, oh, this is some kind of updated CGI version I do not want to watch. So luckily for me, this Blu-ray includes the original theatrical version, so I did watch that instead. I might someday get around to watching the whatever you want to call it, 2.0, I guess, version. But I wanted to see the classic version because that's more my thing. The CGI that I saw looked kind of, it didn't really match very well with the original style of animation, for me anyway, but maybe I'll give it a chance. So Ghost in the Shell is an adult animated neo-noir cyberpunk thriller film. This was directed by Mamoru Oshii, who also directed Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence, along with many other, or several other animated films that I'm not familiar with. The voices were in this film were performed by, here's my Japanese, Atsuko Tanaka, who did a lot of anime movies and TV, and he also, this person also did a lot of Japanese dub work on films. It's also voice stars, Akio Atsuka, who did lots of anime movies and TV, including some of the Studio Ghibli films. This also voice stars Imasa Kayumi, who was the official voiceover actor for Frank Sinatra and Donald Sutherland. I thought that was interesting. He also did dub work for Christopher Lee, James Stewart, and Ian McKellen. He was active in voice work up until his death in 2014 at the age of 80. So rest in peace, Mr. Kayumi, and thank you for all of your work, including this film. The synopsis for this film is, in this Japanese animation, cyborg federal agent Major Motoko Kusanagi trials the Puppet Master, who illegally hacks into the computerized minds of cyborg-human hybrids. Her pursuit of a man who can modify the identity of strangers leaves Motoko pondering her own makeup and what life might be like if she had more human traits. With her partner, she corners the hacker, but her curiosity about her identity sends the case in an unforeseen direction. So, the production for this film, the film's visuals were created through a combination of traditional cell animation and CGI animation. The film was initially considered a box office failure before developing a cult following on home video. Hence why I'm featuring it on Cult Movie Tuesdays today on my channel. Since then, it has grown in esteem and is now considered one of the best anime and science fiction films of all time. It inspired filmmakers such as the Wachowskis, creators of the Matrix films. James Cameron described it as, quote, the first truly adult animation film to reach a level of literacy and visual excellence. So, big words coming from James Cameron. And you could definitely see the Matrix, the influence on the Matrix from this thing. The updated version of this film, Ghost in the Shell 2.0, was released in 2008, featuring newly added digital effects, additional 3D animation, and new audio. When Oshii went back to make changes to the original Ghost in the Shell to re-release it as Ghost in the Shell 2.0, one of the reasons he gave was that the film did not resemble the sequel and that he wanted to update the film to reflect changes in perspective. So very much a George Lucas style approach, I would say there. The budget for the film was $3 million approximately, and the box office was $10 million. approximately, of course. The film grew a cult following on home video, with the film grossing approximately $43 million in total box office and home video sales revenue. So it did really well on home video. Oshii based the setting for Ghost in the Shell on Hong Kong, commenting that his first thought to find an image of the future setting was an Asian city, but finding a suitable cityscape for the future would be impossible, so he chose to use the real streets of Hong Kong as his model. Before shooting the film, the artists involved drew sketches that emphasize Hong Kong's chaotic, confusing, and overwhelming aspects. Ghost in the Shell used a novel process called digital generated animation, DGA, which is a combination of cell animation, computer graphics, and audio that is entered into as digital data. In 1995, DGA was thought to be the future of animation, as it allowed traditional animation to be combined with computer graphics and digital cell work with visual displays. So this movie was pretty far ahead of its time as far as like animation and the combining of traditional animation with computer generated stuff. The critical response for this film is this film currently holds a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, if you follow that type of thing. It is, I think, generally considered one of the best anime movies of all time. Some critics thought the story was a bit murky, but still praised its visuals. My thoughts on this film, exactly that. I thought the visuals were just out of this world. I grew up, I don't really watch a lot of anime. I had Akira when I was younger, and I watched that movie a lot. But I didn't really have a lot of anime movies to watch or manga to read. I'm kind of slowly kind of dipping my toes in those waters, but I did recently go through a little bit there where I watched Akira and this, and I think a couple other ones. And this one I had seen years ago on video, and I quite enjoyed it, so I found this as an upgrade. Yeah, the visual effects are so good. I have to agree with some of the critics. I thought the story was a little murky and muddled and kind of hard to follow. I am not super smart, if you hadn't already guessed that already, but sometimes I have a really hard time following stories, and this one I did struggle with a little bit, but I think the visual components kept me like tuned in, and I really loved it. I thought like the cityscapes and stuff were really well done. A lot like in the same sense that Akira was like the cityscapes and the landscapes and things like that. I find that really enthralling. I actually am a little obsessed with like skylines and city centers and things like that. This might sound really strange, but sometimes in my free time I watch videos of people just walking through Japan, filming like streets and stuff, and I love the whole vibe of that. This definitely appealed to me in that sense. The special features on this Blu-ray: the making of Ghost in the Shell 2.0, a commentary with the director and animation director, and face-to-face exclusive interviews with the director. This has a running time of 83 minutes. It's put out by Manga Productions, I guess, as well as Anchor Bay. This is not rated. It's in widescreen presentation, 1080p Blu-ray. Yeah, this was actually put out by Anchor Bay, which is interesting, as well as the company Manga, which you can see down in the corner here. It's a recognizable logo with respect to some of this stuff, but yeah, this was a pretty cool edition. There's nothing special on the inside, but it does have, like I said, the 2008 2.0 version, as well as the classic version on here. I don't know, it doesn't say that on the back, but yeah. Anyway, you can watch this version from Anchor Bay. You can watch the original animated version. So yeah, I thought this was a cool movie. If you like anime, you've probably already seen this. I don't need to tell you. I haven't watched the 2.0 version, so down the road I might watch that just to see what I think of it. And again, I haven't seen part 2 either, so but I gather part 2 is more like the CGI kind of stuff. You can currently rent this on Apple TV and Prime Video, and you can watch it for free on YouTube with ads. So if you really want to see it, you can watch it that way. This isn't I don't see this a lot when I'm thrifting. I don't know how common it is, but I actually found this at a Frenchie's thrift store years ago, and I think I paid like $1.50 for it. So this was a really good deal. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on Ghost in the Shell and a bit of the production notes for you movie buffs out there and animation fans. I hope you enjoyed this review. Leave your thoughts on this film in the comments below. Did you like this movie? Did you not like this movie? And consider giving me the thumbs up if you like this review. And consider subscribing if you haven't already. As of recording of this video, I'm at about 340 subscribers. So welcome to all my new followers and to all the people who have sent messages of support and comments talking about their thoughts about the films that I'm reviewing. I love to talk about movies with people and get different perspectives on things. So let me know your thoughts on Ghost in the Shell. This is, it says, people love machines in 2029 AD. We'll see. We will see in 2029 if we love machines. But yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this review. Again, let me know your thoughts below. If there's a movie you want me to review, you can leave it in the comments below, and I will try to get around to it. Again, I hope everyone had a good holiday and a happy new year. And until next time, I will see you at the thrift store or at the video store or just out and about somewhere, or maybe I'll see you in the hustling and bustling streets of Hong Kong fighting off cyborgs or something like that. But until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.